This is the 2026 Cadillac Escalade IQ Sport, and it checks off all of the right boxes. Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. We're at Orr Cadillac in Shreveport, Louisiana to give you the details on this Escalade IQ. It is a 2026 model. If you want to know more, check out the link down in the description of the video. The exterior color on this model is called Black Raven, and it has a sheer gray with dark cinder interior. Obviously, full LED lighting here on the front end. I'm going to let you see all of that in action as it all comes to life. You can see everything. I really like the way that looks. You wouldn't believe how bright that is in the dark. Everything is illuminated here. Our LED headlights, daytime running lights. Obviously, the grille. I know it didn't stay on for us very long, but I really would love to see some kind of an incorporation here. In fact, let me do that one more time, where you have something similar to this with the gas burning version, just because it looks so cool when you light everything up, when you're driving down the road. It'd be neat to see some illumination. I know we wouldn't necessarily be able to do that here, but you can obviously have your illuminated logo. That's going to be there, but you can see all that is here as far as that goes. And obviously, being an EV, this area is not going to be active, but this lower portion will be. That's going to help keep the battery nice and cool. That's a good thing, but I really like the aggressive look of the front end here. Here is our remote. You're going to have lock, unlock, remote start. You can open and close your power tailgate, and we'll work our way around to the side right here. These wheels are 24 inches. They are some giant wheels, that's for sure. The finish on here looks really nice. I like that. I know a lot of people don't like a gloss black finish. Obviously not having that here, I think really works well with the exterior color of this particular model. And one thing I'm going to show you real quick, you can see your turn signal indicator built in right there. That is a little different than what we see with a lot of vehicles. Now, when we work our way up here to the side view mirrors, you're going to have your body color with your mirror caps. They're going to be heated and power adjustable. Blind spot monitoring is built in. And they're also going to be power folding, as you can see right there. I'm just going to barely touch that door. That one's not working as well for me, but it does have the motor on it to open and close that. And you'll have your assist step down here. I like that it's in a fixed. You don't necessarily need the power steps to come in and out. It gives it a nice clean look, but at the end of the day, it's functionality that really matters most as far as that goes. One thing I do notice here is that it doesn't have a finish on it that's textured. So if your shoes are kind of wet or a little slick down there, be kind of careful getting in and out. That's one thing I like about some other vehicles that do offer that, but then again, it may not be a big deal. The nice large windows will make it very easy to see when you're driving down the road, but there are other safety features we'll show you later in the video that help that even more. As we work our way here to the rear, once again, I'm going to hit the button right here real quick and show you what we have as far as the tail lights go. Everything is LED back here. We're going to have our blacked out badging with the exception of the Cadillac logo right there. And we're also going to have the rear wiper tucked away right under here. Now, one of the big advantages of a lot of EVs out there is the front trunk storage space. You won't find much more than what you'll find here. I'm going to hit the button to open that up because you have 12 additional cubic feet of cargo space, and there are a few extra little goodies to talk about up here. Kind of surprised we only have the cargo area lighting in the front trunk area on one side, although it looks very bright. Probably going to illuminate this area nicely, but I always like to see that on both sides. We're going to have our 120 volt power outlet right here, and then we're going to have several different tie down areas, just like what we see here, some up here. So that's going to be in a few different areas when you need to tie things down and keep them in place. And when you start to run low on windshield washer fluid, that's something you don't need to go to the dealership to deal with. You can fill it yourself. Now, we're going to show you around a little bit. I'm going to tell you about what we have here. Horsepower and torque with your dual motor setup. 750 horsepower, 785 pounds-feet of torque. 0 to 60 in 5 seconds flat. That's pretty good. Top speed of a limited 125 miles per hour. And you can drive about 450 miles on a single charge. As far as your charging goes, DC fast charging, we're looking at about 10 to 80% in roughly 30 minutes. And with the level 2 home charging, we're looking at about 0 to 100% in 14 to 15 hours. And we're going to work our way around here to the side real quick so I can show you where you're going to be charging. Your charge port is going to be located right here. I like always having this kind of thing on the driver's side. It just makes sense. You're just going to push on that charge port door right there. There are your different options. If you're going to be using the DC fast charger, there's what you need. Simple to deal with, simple to figure out. When you're finished up, you can just push that button right there. One thing I didn't mention earlier in the video when we were talking about the horsepower and torque and all that good stuff is you do have adaptive air ride suspension. It's going to help to have a very comfortable ride quality. You can raise and lower the height of the Escalade IQ. All that's going to be here. And you can open and close your power tailgate with a button in the driver's area, the button on the remote, or you can select right there to push right there. I'm so used to the screens, select, but you can open that up. Now, 8,000 pounds of towing capacity, and depending on how you set things up, we're looking at 23 cubic feet up to 69 cubic feet up to 119 cubic feet of cargo space. And something to note here is that you don't have a spare tire. You do have a tire repair kit. I think most people are aware that most EVs come that way. You do have a little bit of extra storage space here. And I'm going to come around this way and show you what we have right here. As far as the tie downs, we're going to have that on each side. We're going to have another 120 volt power outlet over there. And then the buttons right here are going to, number one, lower the rear seats. Now, I'm going to lower the middle seats first so that these will go ahead and go down in the rear without any obstruction. You can see they go down very quickly. That is how you're going to maximize your cargo space. Let's talk about the very spacious interior. Now we're going to start here with the door panel. We'll show you what's going on over there on the passenger side. It is large, that's for sure. So really long arms, you're going to have a comfortable place no matter how long your arms are. We're going to have our door bin down there, a large door bin, plenty of storage space as far as that goes. And when we work our way here into the interior, you're going to have your panoramic sunroof. Plenty of space there as far as being able to see out very easily. And then we'll work our way to the seats right here. A few things to talk about. There are two different levers on the side of the seats. One allows us to move the seat forward and back so you can increase or decrease leg space. As you can see, this is all the way forward. Probably unrealistic unless you got the kids sitting here, the really small kids. But there that is. Now, that second lever that says ×2 on it that you saw, we're going to hit that once, hit it twice, and then that allows me to hop into the third row. Now, I am going to bring that seat back like this. Now, you can see that I have a good bit of leg space. Probably unrealistic, but you can stretch your leg out into the pass-through right there if you want to. And it would really come back to about right here. So you can kind of see where that would be on my leg if the seats were all the way back. And then we're going to have 3 air conditioning vents back here. That's nice to have that for all 3 passengers. Roof mounted, that means the airflow is going to get to your passengers a lot quicker than if it was located, say, down in this area somewhere. There are some vehicles out there that have that. And then we're going to have right here, we're going to have our cup holder and plenty of space back here as far as that goes. When it comes to getting back out, there's a couple of different ways you can do this. There's actually a release on the back of the seat. If the battery were to die, your passengers could still get out without having to use the pass-through. But we're going to hit the button one time right there. Get that out of the way. There we go. Give it a little bit of help. And then we're going to hit that button one more time. That gets up and out of the way, and I can get out. One more thing for your third row passengers, a little bit hard to see with this interior color, but there is a USB port. There'll be one on each side. And as far as space goes, definitely a lot more here in the second row. A lot going on to talk about here, including our air conditioning vents that are going to be right here. We're going to have all of our controls here for the third and fourth zone of climate controls. There's actually another zone of climate control for your rear seat passengers, so you can control all of that, see everything that you can do here, and you also have heated seats back there. And you will also have your heated seats here in the second row, as you can see, and then 3 stages as far as that goes, climate control and all that stuff, air speed, temperature, everything, fan speed, I should say, it's not a plane. Fan speed, yes, you can laugh at that. You can control temperature and all that good stuff. Now, how about connectivity? We're going to have some USB options down here, another 120 volt power outlet right there. Definitely the most we've seen in a lot of vehicles. And then we can work our way up to the screen. We'll show you that over there, a little bit easier to see on the passenger side, but you can see everything that you're going to have there as far as being able to see what goes on with vehicle status and all that good stuff. So if you want to know what's going on with that, you can see the speedometer, energy range, all of that is going to be here. Quite a few things going on where that's concerned. We can also go into our settings and change everything that we need to as far as that goes. I'm not going to go into great detail with all of that, but you can see what we have. You can turn that on and off right here. If you need to, you can turn that off just like that, and then you just touch the screen to turn it back on. Overall, there is plenty of space back here. As I mentioned earlier, you can change the space for your rear seat passengers by moving the seat back and forth. You do have the armrest right here. It would be nice to see either a longer armrest or an ability to bring that forward to maybe about that point right there, because you can see that, for me at least, I still have part of my wrist and my hand that are not supported. Not necessarily that big of a deal. Might be comfortable, I don't know, but most likely I'm going to spend all my time right here in the driver's seat. Let's hop up there and talk about what the driver and passenger will find. The sticker price is $140,734. Let's see what else you get for that sticker price. Now, one thing I wanted to show you is the hidden pass-through right here. We can hit the button that the cameraman is hitting right now, and then that little compartment will open up right there, and you can see the pass-through right here. A hidden area so that you can hide, well, whatever you need to in there, and nobody will be able to see it depending on where you are. Nice to have that kind of a setup right there. Very comfortable seats, heated, ventilated. You're going to have all those great functions here. We're going to go ahead and hop on inside and show you what else is going on, and we're going to have the 55-inch screen. We'll give you a better look at everything here in just a bit, but I did want to show you what's over here on the driver's side. You've got all of your controls for your side view mirrors and all that good stuff as far as that goes. And then we can control our seating position right here, everything for seat memory, and then we're going to have our heated seats. One more setting there, ventilated seats, going to have that for driver and passenger, and we can make a lot of changes to a lot of things and manage different things such as lumbar support. That's going to be right there. It's not on the side of the seat itself. And then you can see some of our other features right here as far as raising and lowering the vehicle. That's that up and down arrow that you just saw. So you can see that it's going to come up on the screen when you push that to let you know what's going on. There's your power parking brake. We can open and close the power trunk right there, the front trunk I should say. As you can see, that came back up. We're going to close that down and get that to go down for us, and then you're also going to be able to open and close your power tailgate right here, just as we showed you earlier in the video. Steering wheel mounted controls are all here. I think you know what is what. We're not going to spend a lot of time on that, and you have a tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. Here is the control for that. Everything for your front and rear window wipers. This model does come standard with blinkers. Believe it or not, you don't have to pay extra for that. For those that are worried about it, there is going to be information in the owner's manual to show you how that works. It is a little bit complicated, at least for some people. Yes, I'm being sarcastic about that. Here's your shifter on the right-hand side of the steering column, and you do have Super Cruise here, semi-autonomous driving that's going to work more so out on the interstate than it will on most other roads. And we're going to work our way over here, and we're going to start from the passenger side over there with the screen as far as that goes. Just to show you what all is there, you can see a few different options that you can go through. We're going to go right here just to show you what's going on with that. Now, that is a very important thing. I'm going to show you when we get to the center screen later on what you can do with that. But I'm going to work my way over here to the driver's display first and show you what's going on where that is concerned. I'll try and get the steering wheel up and out of the way just a little bit, just so you can see what we have here. I like it, a nice modern look. You know when you're in drive, when you're in neutral, or when you're in park. Reverse is right there, and then we push the button on the side right there to go back into park. Now we'll work our way up to the upper console real quick here. Not a whole lot going on here to talk about, but you do have things such as OnStar if you have an emergency, and then your button right there for your hazard lights, and obviously a digital rear view mirror. Now you can use that as a conventional style if you want to. When it's digital, the button right here allows you to go through several different settings on the left hand side right there. So if I push that, here's what's going to happen. We can adjust the brightness, as you can see right there. We're going to push that again, and we can adjust how far zoomed in we are, and we can also adjust the angle depending on how you want to see. It does take a little bit of getting used to. Now, the center screen right here, a lot of good information. We can see the temperature, which that's indoors right now. We can see what day it is. If you're not sure, you can look down there and see time. All of that's going to be here. But here's what I was telling you about earlier, vehicle status. Here's the neat thing about that. Depending on what you want to know about, you can come in here. Let's say we want to go to tire pressure real fast. See how you can add that to the driver's display? If you want that to be up there, you can, and it will be on the driver's display, or you can remove it depending on where you want to see that. You can see this right here as far as that goes. And we can do that with several other different settings. Now we're going to come back here to the screen, charging. Going to be right here. We'll go into that. There we go. It's going to let you know what's going on as far as that goes, what your charge percentage is, if you want to charge now, if you want to charge later, whatever the situation is, you've got all of that. We're going to run through a few different things in here. Obviously, some of this I can't show you because I don't have an account to do that, but you can also create a charging schedule if you want to, and that will walk you through everything that you need to do. We're going to go back to the previous screen, and then you can come here to notifications. You've got home settings, all of that, fast charging prep. Everything is here as far as that goes. Cameras, we're going to have plenty of those. Everywhere you look, you can see what's going on front. There's our rear. You've obviously got the overhead view. If you want to see that, you also have two different views where that is concerned. And then we have our side views too. That's going to make it very easy to see what's going on with your vehicle. So we're going to come back here, back out of that. We can exit out of there, and then you can see what's going on with everything else here. Cameras, you've got trailering, My Cadillac. I'm not going to demonstrate Google Assistant, but you can say, hey, you know who, that way I don't set anything off in your houses. The Play Store is here. Your ambient lighting or accent lighting is going to be here. The ambient lighting will let you do quite a few different things as far as your settings go. You can create a specific style depending on how you want to do that. You can even turn that on and off if you want to. Brightness, we've got styles, you've got modes. There's a lot going on here, but I guarantee you it's not difficult to use, not difficult to learn. And then we're going to go right here into settings because there are a couple of things I want to show you that I know a lot of people want to know about. Drive mode customization. You can come in and do that. You can come in and adjust your steering, your acceleration feel, your motor sound, and you can see that you have a couple of different options where all of that is concerned. We're going to come back out of there. You have valet mode, teen driver mode. You can turn rear seat reminder on and off. The same thing with buckle to drive. Super cruise lane change, turn signal activated view so you can see in your blind spot. Climate and air quality. And here's something I want to get into because a lot of people want to know what the safety features are. Alert type, forward collision avoidance, front pedestrian braking, intersection collision braking, adaptive cruise speed from signs. Didn't mean to go into that right there, but adaptive cruise go notifier, side bicyclist alert, lane change alert, reverse automatic braking, park assist, and rear cross traffic alert, also rear pedestrian alert. Can you memorize all of that and say it all back in a video without actually looking at something? That's a lot. But you have so much going on here. I'm not going to go through all of it, but just to show you a few things that are here. And then we have our built-in navigation. You can go in and pair your phone wirelessly if you want to. We can come in here with our home location notifications, fast charge prep. That's all right there. And to turn the vehicle off, here's how you do that. You can hit vehicle off, or if you accidentally do that and you didn't mean to, well, you can cancel that. And then we're going to go right here and show you one more neat little trick. You can open the glove box right here. So I'm going to select that, and when I do, the glove box pops open. As you can see, there is the space within. And then we also have one pedal driving. If you want to use that, you can. That means when you start to slow down, it will automatically start to brake and use that braking for keeping the battery charged. So one of those little things you can do, kinetic energy, is where you're going to be using that. It takes advantage of the kinetic energy. Now, we also have another screen to tell you about. If you're wondering where the air conditioning controls, it's going to be the screen right down here below our center screen and our air conditioning vents. Now, there's a lot going on here as far as that goes. You've got your front row, your second row, and then that third row. We showed you all of this on the rear back there in the middle seats. And then you can come in here and take advantage of where your air goes, all of that different stuff, different options that you're going to have as far as this goes for turning on your heated steering wheel, your heated and ventilated seats, obviously on both sides right there. And here's something that you might not expect to see, but a lot of your features are going to be found here on the center screen. So we're going to have safety, we're going to have drive, we're going to go into that. You can see what's going on with your traction control, lane assist, and also auto hold. So if you don't like auto hold with your braking, you can turn that on or off right there. Obviously, one pedal driving, you can do the same thing where that is concerned. You're going to have park right here, depending on what features you want to work with or turn on and off. And we also have the different settings with the door lock, unlock, all that good stuff is going to be here. We'll come back here to controls. You can see what is there. Now, managing your headlights. Let me see if I can get to that. There we go. Just leave it on auto. You don't have to worry about anything, but you can turn everything on and off. You can also have the reminder right there if you want to. You can come over here and turn everything on automatically. You can turn it off if you want to. Like I said, just leave that on auto. You don't have to worry about that. And there we go with all of those things. And so, depending on what you want to turn on and off, there's your lane keeping assist. You can turn that back on, and then we come right here, and that will bring the cameras back up on the center screen, just so you can see what all is here. And obviously, we can get back out of there when we need to. Now, what else do we have right here? If you don't want to use the touch screen, this actually does a nice job of allowing you to control the screen with the buttons and the dial. So you can see what's going on where that goes. You can see I'm working my way around. So if you don't want to actually touch the screen, depending on your personal preferences, you can do that. You can go to the lower area down there, as you can see. We can come in here if we want to go to the cameras. We can do that. Something that's just nice to know about if you don't like actually getting fingerprints all over the screen. The knob for your radio, turning that on and off, and adjusting the volume. And something that I really like here, especially the price point of this Escalade IQ, you have not one, but two wireless charging pads for your front seat passengers, the driver and the passenger. We have this nice little decorative design around our cup holders. The center console can be used as an armrest, center console lid, I should say. And then if you're looking for a 12-volt power outlet, there is one here. It's just hidden away within the spacious center console area. And there it is, the 2026 Cadillac Escalade IQ Sport. It checks off all of the right boxes, but I'm curious, is there something missing that you think should be here that maybe is not? I'm always curious to receive your feedback. I would like to say a special thanks to our friends at Orr Cadillac for loaning us this Escalade for the day so we could tell you all about it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give us the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. That's very helpful. Make sure to subscribe and share this video on your timelines on social media. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out one of the videos that's on the screen right now, and we'll see you there.